The Square Ball Podcast.
Well, hello there. Welcome to the show. This is in your podcast app if you would like to listen. If you would like to watch, it's also on YouTube, a show that's brought to you with Levi Solicitors, who will offer you 10% discount on your legal fees on their full range of services, which is it the best range of legal services that we're aware of?
It's comprehensive enough for my needs.
Yeah.
I can tell you that much, because I only like the wills, the probate, the conveyancing, but others are available.
Yeah, such as lasting powers of attorney, very important. All that business, and your care home fees as well, something they want to give a little push to in the second half of 2025, because my word, looked into it, too much information for old Daniel here. Have a look at levisolicitors.co.uk / the square ball for details of how to get in touch, full details of the offer there as well, terms on the website. And it's Dan, Michael and Chris on the weekly roundup, stuff what is going on at Ellen Road. Well, actually, we'll start outside Ellen Road because we had the West Ham Brentford game last night, Monday Night Football. Brentford won 2-0 down there. Could have been more, but due to malfunctions with, it was the AWS, the Amazon outage that affected a load of services yesterday, also affected the semi-automated VAR offside thing. So technology failed yet again. So as we hand over the planet to data centers that will kill the climate and all that sort of stuff, it might kill football. Also,
it won't, because you can just referee it like you used to do.
But I don't think that's allowed.
And it'll be fine.
What I'm saying, Michael, is maybe because last night was corrupted by Amazon's outage, it's time to end the season. Just lock it in now.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's check the table. Yep.
16th.
Yep, that seems fine.
Just pour a big bottle of water into the data center and be done with it.
Yeah, I think that's how it works. That would take the lockdown.
Yeah, nice.
I think I did advocate arson of the whole VAR setup.
Stockley, specifically Michael Normanton.
At some point in the past.
It was Michael, just for clarity, it was Michael Normanton advocating.
I was talking broadly about the concept of burning things down
Stockley Park
as an idea.
Yeah.
But it would also stop us having to put up with VAR.
Yep.
Which should improve everyone's experience of football, wouldn't it? So we don't had one at Ellen Road, have we? I had the handball, actually, didn't we, for Everton? That got checked.
The one that I always go back to is, it was around this time 3 years ago, the Arsenal-Leeds match that was actually delayed for a while because VAR went down mid-game.
Oh, yeah, of course. So was it even before the game? None of it was working.
But then did it not go down while the game was on? Because I remember being sort of stood downstairs for a while.
God, I can't remember.
Yeah. You might be right, I think. Was it that terribly cold night as well? It was really cold.
No.
Midwinter, or was that the Bielsa COVID game? I've not had many happy memories against Arsenal.
That was the COVID one, because Jesse Marsh is manager, and I think Marsh and Arteta both agreed to just play on without it, but we're told no.
Yeah. Shut it all down.
I don't think it affected the result last night anyway. I only switched this on for the second half, mainly because I wasn't particularly interested in it, but then I looked at the halftime stats and West Ham were getting such a complete beating. I thought, I'm kind of intrigued by this.
Yeah.
And
I think they did improve a bit in the second half.
I didn't watch any of it, but I did sort of follow some of it online and saw a lot of people being like, Brentford's system's finally working. Is it working, or were they just playing West Ham?
West Ham looked bad.
Well, see, with Friday in mind, you hope it's the latter.
Yeah, so the second half was apparently a bit of an improvement, and it was still absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
Brentford just cut through them over and over again. They did a massive formation change at half time as well. I have to also at this point thank West Ham for completely saving propaganda, because God, it was thin gruel I was operating off. But then last night came around and I just stayed on YouTube last night watching all the post-match fallout and stuff. So thank you.
Right, I've got a task for you. If you're a bit thin on the ground for propaganda for tomorrow, it's now 11 o'clock on Tuesday morning as we record this. You've got this afternoon to listen to 2.5 hours of Jurgen Klopp on Diary of a CEO.
Nope.
And get material from that.
No. No. I'd rather not.
I will say about that West Ham game, my mate from school's little brother came on for West Ham, Callum Marshall.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I remember him when he was like 8 or 9 and saw him playing football one day. I was like, wow, he's going to be a real player. And I think he went to West Brom.
He was at Huddersfield.
Yeah.
I looked him up last night because I'd never heard of him.
And it didn't really look like it was going to work out for him, but he's got I know it's a bad West Ham team, but he's got 30 minutes in the Premier League now.
I'll be honest, it didn't look much like it was working out for him last night either. But he also, I don't think he really had a touch.
Just have a look at the momentum graph. It's still all Brentford from last night in the second half.
I don't think there were quite as many big chances in the second half.
It started off with in the sort of first half of the second half, if you like. It seemed to continue on from the actual first half, but the sort of final quarter of the game was just petered out into nothing by the looks of it.
Yeah, and that's Nuno's first home game, and there was a boycott going on. So if anyone saw it, there were loads of empty seats, but that's because it was in the way that these things typically are, particularly I guess in a ground that attracts a lot of tourist fans anyway.
Yeah,
it was a boycott, but not a very comprehensive one. So there were a load of empty seats, but it just looked kind of half empty rather than like it had been boycotted.
Well, how this all pertains to Leeds is that you look at the current bottom three, which is Wolves, West Ham, and Forest, all of which are how do you throw them a blanket over these? Probably churn where Wolves are concerned, but it feels like they've been gurgling around the plug hole for a while now. But West Ham and Forest, both chaotic changes have happened. And Forest have put Deitch back in. Hello, Michael.
Don't know.
Come on, give the people what they want.
It's not funny.
It is funny.
It's not.
It is funny.
It's
Like,
not.
this is like the Rolling Stones going on stage and going, do you know what? I'm not going to do Satisfaction tonight.
Let me be an artist in my own right.
I think.
Maybe.
Let us know what you think in the comments, guys. Tell him. Get him told. Do the voice, Michael.
No. Yeah, I'm a bit annoyed they've appointed Deitch as early as they have. I was hoping they'd continue this Ange thing for another month or so. But
it's no guarantee of success. In the same way that everyone went, oh well, Nuno's been hired by West Ham, so they must be safe now.
Yeah, exactly what I was thinking about the two of them, about why I singled out particular those, like that bottom three. There's a lot of instability there, I suppose.
Yeah, but Forest have got a fairly large squad of decent footballers. West Ham are no.
But
they've really run out of players.
But if he does go full Deitch ball, I know Nuno was quite conservative in his approach, but Deitch is different, isn't he? Again, it's still more basic football, I suppose. Just it's a third voice that they've had in such a short space of time. I suppose I'm just clutching for reasons why things might unravel. And whereas Ellen Road, it feels to me, is at least relatively settled, and I hope that is enough compared to them.
Wolves and West Ham for definite. I feel like they're both in a lot of trouble, and Wolves are
with a fan base.
Wolves are very close to changing manager as well. Like that.
Yeah,
it's surely going to happen. It's going to have to happen soon.
I was going to say with Forest, their fan base is unhappy. They've been protesting, and ticket sales apparently, the 4U feed on Twitter is serving me up a few Forest fans for whatever reason, who are complaining about the fact that tickets are not selling out for their home games. Like they were like rocking horse shit for a while, and now for the games up to and including ours, sales have really dropped off because people seem to be, I don't know, a bit fed up with the amount of change and churn and chaos. But maybe this reinvigorates it because you've got another shot in the arm, or at least you think you do. But then, as you said, Chris, that's the same idea with West Ham, don't you? But their fan base is unhappy. So what I'm saying is, because Leeds is stable and they're not, we're going to be fine. Tell me I'm wrong.
Our fan base is definitely stable.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
We'll go 1-0 behind on Friday night. You'll see how stable they are.
And we definitely won't sack a manager after like just one more defeat or anything.
No, of course not.
Definitely not.
It's a big weekend coming up, actually, isn't it? Because we play first. The chance to lay that marker down, and if you push yourselves on to 11 points from where we are right now, you are before Forest West. It includes West Ham, but before Forest and Wolves play, you're then having a 6.2 game gap to the bottom three, and it starts to crank up that pressure. It's a huge weekend, especially off the back of losing to Burnley, and just looking down the fixtures that pertain to the teams around us. You've got Newcastle and Fulham playing each other on Saturday after us, and they're both directly above us, so somebody's dropping points there. You've also got Brentford-Liverpool, which, all things being equal, you would expect Liverpool to win there, maybe recover after losing to Man United. That's the Saturday evening kickoff. Bournemouth against Forest. Again, the way Bournemouth are going, you hope Bournemouth are winning that. That's 2:00 on Sunday, as is Villa against Man City. Again, you're hoping for an away win. And then one of the big ones, Wolves versus Burnley, who are both beneath us. So somebody's losing points there. So it's not lost, is it? Like, a win on Friday goes a long, long way because, as we said, wins are really hard to come by in this division. And looking at those fixtures, you don't really fancy the chances for many of the teams that are down there. So it's another really golden opportunity. Home game, under the lights, team that's really struggling. You've got to capitalise.
In our pre-season predictions, where did we all say we'd finish?
I said 16th.
I said 16th.
Did I say? I think I said 18th, didn't I?
Yeah.
But so we all expected to be in this bit of the table.
It's just not very nice, is it?
No, it's not.
No, people want to know that Leeds are going to be okay, but you're not going to know until May,
Yeah.
the middle of May, maybe. So
Yeah.
just going to have to suck it up and get on with it.
Unless you have a season that ends up shaping up as last season did, where 3 teams kind of declared pretty early on that they were the ones going down.
It just doesn't seem likely.
It doesn't. You might cut one adrift, I think. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe if this goes on for another couple of weeks at Wolves and they're on 2 points and 17th on, 12 by then, you do start thinking, they're not coming back from
This is the opportunity that exists this weekend, though, isn't it? If Wolves were to beat Burnley or they draw, a draw's not good for either of them. And then suddenly you're starting to open up that gap. And it is so hard to claw back even 3, never mind 4, 5, 6 points. Absolutely got to win this one. No two ways about it. What changes do you make then for Friday? It's something we kind of danced around on the match ball. We spoke to Bryn Law about it. Is it all obvious to you, Chris?
No, because I know a lot of the talk was about swapping out Strike for Be-All. And I don't really, if you're going to blame Strike for the second goal, it's kind of like blaming Tyler Roberts for the time he gave the ball away inside the Newcastle half and John Joe Shelby ended up scoring a free kick. Like, he gives the ball away. There's still a lot to do. Ethan Ampadu's kind of walking about. Stack doesn't close his man down. Even Rodon doesn't really try and put a foot in or anything, like when the ball's out wide on the right. And he's still, he's shooting from 25 yards. The more I watch the replay of it, the more I think it's not really in the top corner, is it? It's kind of dipped over the keeper. I don't know.
It does move a lot in the air, though, doesn't it?
I think with regards to that, I don't necessarily blame Strauch personally for that, but you don't help yourselves when you can't complete a pass at Premier League level and concede possession and put yourself under pressure again. I think that's what annoyed me about it.
I don't think that's the issue, really. I don't think in hindsight playing Be-All on Saturday would have changed anything that happened in the end. Maybe playing him instead of Strike. I love Joe Rodon, but I'm not really sure what he's doing for the first goal. He's not marking anyone, and nobody really seems to be talking about that either. I think Rodon kind of doesn't get criticised at all because Strike is, if Be-All isn't there, I don't think anyone's talking about switching either of the centre-backs after that game or after the Spurs game.
Probably because Rodon's good in recovery and he's quick and he tends to be good at that last line of defence recovery thing, whereas Strauch, you sort of see him, he lumbers a little bit more, doesn't he? He's physically heavier and you sort of fear when he's being run at. So I suppose it draws more attention to him in that regard, and then you maybe don't notice as much when the cross is just pumped in. And maybe you're absolutely right.
We've seen a fair bit of Strauch in the Premier League as well, and it was generally a bit unconvincing, I thought. So maybe it's the point at which people think, well, maybe just change it. The other thing with and it applies to Perry as well, I suppose, is if we've had this summer of data-driven recruitment and we've identified that Perry and Be-All are going to make a difference, they need to play. Because otherwise, what was the point of the whole summer of identifying these players and going, yes, they will improve us in these key areas because we want to play this certain style and stuff, and then just not having them on the pitch
I think
renders the whole thing pointless.
Where Perry's concerned, I think Perry's a really interesting case here that possibly warrants a bit of discussion. Maybe not now, but further down the line as the season unfolds properly. I'm not sure he was anyone's first choice.
That was the talk, wasn't it?
I feel like he probably came up as a compromise option because from what we gather, Data wanted one person, Farker wanted another, Perry becomes available, and they just get him. But you can see what his limitations are, I suppose. Like, he's not looked convincing with the ball at his feet at all, has he, so far? But maybe he just needs to settle down like all the other new players. But
I don't think Carl Darlow was a first choice goalkeeper either, though.
No.
Really, I would be starting Perry. But I rate all 3 centre-backs that Leeds have. I do think potentially Be-All is the best of the 3 based on what I've seen before, and I'm his biggest advocate. But I don't know if starting him in a back 4 makes any difference right now.
Right.
And
would you say back 5?
I would have said go 3-5-2, 5-3-2, whatever you call it, last weekend, and I actually said it on Saturday morning. I was just sitting bored, looking around, because what's the point of playing Brendan Aronson and Jack Harrison if you kind of know what they're going to do and it's not all that great? And probably our 2 best wide players are our 2 fullbacks who like to push on, get forward. I'm not saying that would have solved everything, because obviously when you have you only got one wide player, you're easier to exploit in those wide areas. And I do quite like. I liked whenever Calvert-Lewin and Pirro played together against Spurs, albeit for only 20 minutes. I don't know. I probably would have. I would like to see a 3-5-2, and I know it's reactive, but it's no different to just going 1-0 down and throwing all three strikers on anyway.
Yeah.
So
I feel like, and I might be wrong, maybe Farke would be averse to that because he's not trained it, rather than saying this is the hand we've been dealt and we deal with it in this way, because like you said, we know that the wide players are strong players.
Yeah.
The fullbacks, out wide. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't feel like he's that way inclined to do that.
I just think you've got to be more flexible nowadays. Like,
Yeah.
we've signed all these big players with the idea of being big and physical, and kind of just seem to be playing the same way as before, but with less flair.
Yeah.
I must admit, I saw the wingers on show at Burnley, and I did think, I kind of know how this is going to look, but I also thought, without being too arrogant about it, it is only Burnley. Like, they're a poor quality side in this division, so it might be just about okay, and we might get a point, or we might even scrape a win here. The way the game panned out, it wasn't. You wouldn't blame Aronson or Harrison for the goals we conceded, but it didn't help us, did it?
No.
That we had zero threat at all going forward, and the whole thing of Calvert-Lewin, he felt like he was. I know he plays up front by himself, but he felt very much by himself at the weekend. Like there was just nothing around him. Like there was no one supporting from midfield. There was no one helping him out from the wings. It was just occasionally stuff got pumped up to him, and in the end he's flicking on the ball for Jayden Bogle, who's arriving in the box, which feels just completely wrong. But it's, I guess, because there was nothing else. That's kind of what we were reduced to.
That's the thing with Okafor as well. You kind of see already how important Okafor has become in 3 starts by, or 4 starts actually, by his ability to sort of get into those spaces, whereas Harrison and Aronson tend to just stay very, very wide, don't they?
And just the ability to actually get the ball out wide and run at someone. Whereas I feel like Harrison and Aronson, I don't think did either of them beat the man once at the weekend?
No. And look, they're 4th and 5th choice wingers, really. Nanto, Okafor, and Dan James are definitely the first 3, but I just think a little bit of flexibility would go some way to making us a little bit more competitive.
Be interesting to see how and what happens in January, if anything, to address this, because it feels like they won't want to have their fingers burned with this again, facing games that we possibly need things from, and not having the tools to exploit it. Whether they try and massage the squad a little bit, I don't know.
We're supposedly maxed out on PSR, so what can happen? Really?
Yeah, but maybe do you have to stretch it or find a way to navigate that, or I don't know. Ellen Road be sponsored by, I don't know, some sort of taurine giant. No, let's not go there.
Yeah, I mean, you still have till the end of June to sell people, don't you? Is the other get out of this, that you sell people post season to meet, so you don't break a PSR rule as maybe an option. I mean, we tried signing Wilson, so there clearly was a plan for it ahead of that not going through.
Yeah,
unless they didn't want it to go through, and the whole thing was a weird sort of charade, which is I don't. It would be a conspiracy theory, and I don't see that being likely.
Yeah.
So,
do you think Parag's just like on the phone with Cardiff Airport, saying, "Don't let that plane leave,"
ringing in threats? That plane cannot get off the ground.
Hey, 49ers are up against it from a transfers point of view. You've seen what's going on in the NFL with them lot. When we went to the New Orleans game when they played there, their starting quarterback was out. I gather from somebody, Jake in Florida, who can explain these things to me like I'm 5, says their entire defense and both quarterbacks are hurt at the minute, the 49ers, which sounds bad, doesn't it?
I wouldn't want to be in that situation.
Yeah.
Who's the Brendan Aronson of quarterbacks? Because that's what they're down to.
Maybe it's Brendan Aronson.
Maybe so.
Maybe that's where his future lies. Yeah.
They've appointed a manager this week, haven't they? 49ers. So.
Have they? Who's gone in at Rangers? Because I keep seeing it change. I don't know.
Danny Roll.
Has he actually gone there now?
Yeah. That's interesting because he turned that job down.
I thought he had.
He was their second choice who rejected the job. Then it was Kevin Muscat, who it seems it fell apart because he is sticking around until the end of October, at least in China. So they've gone back to Danny Roll and he's accepted it.
Right. What if we pay you more money, Danny? Would that work? Have they gone with that, maybe?
I don't really know. I don't know what the difference in the second round of negotiations was, but fair enough.
Pretty please?
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how he gets on outside the absolute madhouse of Hillsborough, to see if he is actually any good a coach, because he seemed to have them performing above the level that perhaps that squad should have done.
This is a tougher job, though, because he at Sheffield Wednesday had the fallback, didn't he, of going, well, what can I do really with this? Whereas at Rangers, that's not going to fly for more than about 5 minutes.
He does have the second best squad in Scotland, though, so if he's in any way a good manager, and Celtic are rubbish. I watched the second half of them at the weekend getting beat by Dundee, and they are absolutely atrocious. It's just get to the edge of the box, tap it around, try and cross it, and it goes out for a goal kick. Like, it's a great year to be Phil Hay, put it like that.
Yeah, well, they're on the up, aren't they? Because Tony Bloom's invested in Hearts, so you never know. Future giants. Elan Mellier's been linked to Celtic, hasn't he? So a guy who has crumbled under the pressure of playing at Ellen Road, going to the nice, quiet, sort of relaxed atmosphere of Parkhead.
I mean, I think he'd be all right because he won't have that much to do.
A bit like Leeds in the Championship.
He didn't have that much to do in the Championship. Yeah.
You're remembering.
I was going to say,
I remember the bad times.
I saw the penny drop then behind your eyes.
Delete it.
Strap in, boys and girls. This should be fun. We've got the likes and dislikes, TSB ratings to feed into the supercomputer to decide a hero and villain of the week. Are you ready?
Let's have a look at the ratings. Is Brendan Aronson ready?
I mean, it's Milano who's probably going to be more upset about this. God.
Yeah.
I mean, look, not a good weekend.
No. Predictably down the bottom there.
Can we do, after the AWS, the Amazon outage, can we do this?
Yeah.
Is it just reading numbers?
I'm off grid with my supercomputer. So it's fine. Brendan Aronson, 2.43. Jack Harrison, 2.97, which you said actually has gone up.
Yeah, on yesterday's daily email, he was down at 2.38 when I took the cut of the data off your...
So there you go.
Off your supercomputer.
It's actually, these games are quite instructive about how people see things, I think, more so than the victories, which are quite easy to score, aren't they? Because everyone just scores highly. So yeah, from bottom to top, it's Aronson, Harrison, Strauch, Calvert-Lewin, Stack, Metcher, Tanaka, Ampadu, Longstaff, Rodon, Bogle, Justin James, and Gabby Goodmanson. So he's the high watermark at 6.72 out of 10.
James Justin didn't come on, so
yeah, I think that's that's a bit of data that's escaped the spreadsheet. But it's good that he did 6. He got 6 there.
Hey, good
he was better than most of them.
Right.
I liked the cut of his jib.
Right. So how's that happen then? The heads need to roll.
It's probably just a bit of leftover data from a previous week.
Yeah.
But I mean, of the starters, there's actually not a huge amount between most of them, is there? It's you take away the wingers, and everyone's between 3.87 and 5.37, apart from Goodmanson.
Goodmanson is our new king, basically.
Yeah,
and it still probably wasn't brilliant, but he looked like something might happen.
Better than most. Than most.
Dare we do likes and dislikes? I feel like there's not a lot to like. St. John finally got an away ticket in the ballot. That was one like. What a great one to get it for as well.
But
Goodness me.
The St. John's dislike was, look what you could have won.
It's Jez who starts off this message with sigh. Not as in Simon, but as in, do we have to do this? All right. Gabby Goodmanson was the least worst by some margin. I think that's a fair assessment of the numbers there.
Yeah, and also his dislike stack. Turns out he's just humorous Insta post and absolutely fuck all else.
It's so funny. I was going to say it's so funny how everybody starts to play the man rather than the ball in the wake of a defeat. Everyone just gets completely nihilistic and hates it.
Yeah, it's also just blatantly untrue. But I do agree that, there's a time and a place, and that was always going to happen.
Yep.
I think you should start doing them after we lose as well.
Light-hearted comedic posts.
Like a gamer-style game over.
Yeah.
Or GTA wasted.
We've all had a good laugh about it.
I think maybe we're just seeing too many defensive players in a game where we had the ball and it looked sort of pointless.
What game was Leeds midfield at its best? And the answer is Everton. When it was Stack, Tanaka and Ampadu, and that's not me saying that you should drop Sean Longstaff at all, but it probably a better balance of the three different midfield profiles.
Rotate now and again.
And the midfield, I thought it's looked decent against like Spurs and Bournemouth. I was not unhappy with it either. But it's because it's games where it's more about grind and less about building some constructive stuff in midfield.
Yeah, I think Farke's not really a squad man, is he? He's a starting 11 man. He likes to have the players that have served him well in the previous match, if assuming they have, regardless of the opponent. And I don't know if maybe that's just one of his shortcomings, like in terms of flexibility with things like that. But it's a slight reluctance to use the squad, maybe.
Yeah, that's my biggest issue with him at the minute, I think. I was saying that from the start of the season. I don't think I think we said it for 2 years. I don't think his subs often change games in a positive manner, but it's the reluctance to use the squad. And, you talk about all the data signings and all that sort of thing, but who were the two data signings last season? It was largely Ramazani and Isaac Schmidt that we were told were data signings.
Yeah.
So.
And what's happened to those guys, eh?
Could have both got a game at the weekend. Possibly.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't feel like there's anything to be gained out of repeatedly hitting Aronson and Harrison with sticks, because that's most of what the dislikes are, truth be told. I think we're all on the same page where Saturday is concerned, and that, yeah?
I think one of them in the team is kind of all right because they both do work hard. But a complete lack of end product on both wings is just not viable, is it?
Yeah, because you've also got Calvert-Lewin, who isn't known for being an out-and-out goal scorer. He's known for his hard work. Harrison's known for hard work. So is Aronson. The three midfielders are known for their hard work. You've got two centre-backs who are known for defending. And the most attacking players in the team are the two full-backs.
Yeah. Well.
Let's not do it again. Yeah. Please. Yeah.
Anything else out of the dislikes there that's not that?
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
There's nothing else. I do enjoy that Deco says, how long have you got? I've said it before and I'll say it again. Aronson is about as useful in a football team as I'd be in a Tour de France team, and I can't ride a bike.
Right. And let's leave that one there. So we fed all that into the supercomputer.
I mean, we will say there were mentions for Hannibal, but given that it's an ongoing investigation, maybe best avoided.
Given that it's a police matter now, the whole alleged spitting, I think from a legal standpoint,
we'll deal with it. We'll deal with it when we can.
Yeah, when we know what's happened there. Safe to say, he probably will be villain of the week, but not for that, because we don't know what happened.
Exactly. Just
for being a bit annoying prior to that.
I mean, yeah, it's been covered before that we think he's a prick.
Yeah.
So, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, sorry, spoiler alert, you did drop a C-bomb on him behind the paywall at the extra time bit that we did for members. You did call him that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's fair enough.
I remember him getting on like that, playing for Man United under 21s at Elland Road 3.5 years ago. So
it seems to be his thing.
Good for him.
Yeah, it's funny. Again, the For You tab on Twitter serving up Burnley fans wearing it as a kind of a badge of honour, just that you've got an absolute dick in your side. And I know that's what football fans do for tribalistic reasons, like rent free and all that sort of stuff. But if you want to hitch your wagon to that, fine, enjoy it. I've bookmarked them all.
Good, very good.
So he's obviously going to be villain of the week pending police matters. Is that right? Is that fair?
Yeah, I guess so. Well, excluding police matters.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, because we don't know what's happened there.
He's the footballing villain of the week. Yeah, footballing only.
Yes, that's the Ken Bates villain of the week. At that, somebody who's made our last 7 days.
It's him or Brendan.
Yeah.
How do you think the two of them would get on?
Although they have been referred to as Jackden Harrison in some of the comments that we got sent into us about that, the two wide men, because they're the lightning rod for it, aren't they? It's not their fault they are who they are. It's not ours though either, is it?
No, and they paid a lot of money, aren't they? It's hard to take.
Yeah. So are we happy to settle on that and move on to
give it to Hannibal,
right?
Even though, actually, no, give it to give it to our players. Actually, yeah, fuck them.
Yeah, I think that's
better
from a legal standpoint. That's a good idea.
Okay,
Daniel Farke and all of them.
All right, fine.
Yeah, sort it out for Friday. Good. I think that feels more legally sound. Good. Excellent. So we will do the Gitana Barada Hero of the Week, sponsored by the tuktukclub.com. Tell me about the tuktukclub.com, Michael. What do you like about it? We haven't been there yet. One day, maybe.
Well, from the pictures I've seen, it looks really nice.
Where is it?
It's in northern Thailand.
Yep.
Yeah. Did you not say that already?
No, I don't think so.
No, you didn't? Oh, okay, good. Yeah, you go on a tuk-tuk around northern Thailand. You can drive it yourself. You can be driven. You go some nice places. You eat some nice food.
You see some waterfalls and some elephants.
Yeah.
All the good.
That sounds better.
And best of all is the Tuk Tuk Club is owned by Bruce, who's a Leeds fan, and he will offer you 15% discount on your booking. TSB 15 when you get in touch with them. And don't take our word for it as well. Have a look on TripAdvisor because they're dead good. And they've got some places left for next summer, limited number of places for summer 2026.
If you did go to Burnley, it might be a nice antidote.
Yeah, because it's not the same, is it? It is
you
not.
could get a TikTok?
A TikTok.
A tuk-tuk around Burnley. That would be fun.
It'd be over within a minute, I think, as in tipped over.
Yeah, the tuktukclub.com. Who's your hero of the week? Any candidates you want to chuck into the mix?
I've got one, but I don't really want to make things worse.
Try me.
It's Matteo Joseph.
Right.
Ah, okay.
I don't know if anyone saw his 2 goals for...
Yeah,
perfect timing. Just before Leeds kicked off and put in an absolute stinker, he scored a double for Mallorca, his first 2 goals.
And that's made him your hero, has it?
Yeah, why not?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we can got Keith Andrews.
Right.
Piling misery on West Ham, giving us all a bit of hope.
I always liked him.
Well, always been big fans of his.
Yeah.
So him.
Yeah, our Deitch being back in management.
I wish he wasn't.
Right.
I'd rather they just left Ange in charge.
Yeah. What do you think he's going to say to that squad as he's gone in there?
Oh, so far nothing. He's just going to sent round a Google form for people to fill in some stuff, and he's read it silently. Is what I believe's happened.
Right.
So far. I don't know. Just give it to Goodmanson.
Why not give it to the women's team for winning the FA Cup at the weekend?
Is that right?
A Leeds team that won in the FA Cup.
Oh, in the FA Cup.
Right.
Yeah.
Not the FA Cup.
No, they didn't win the... I think you would have heard about it.
Well, I thought that.
The FA Cup.
That's no, don't. That's against club traditions.
Well, you know.
I suppose it's a club tradition we may change at some point, but yeah. I just don't know.
It's a fallow week, isn't it?
It really is. Sam Byram actually got a nomination for being the only fit outfield player not in the squad. So he didn't do anything wrong, did he?
No, that's true. And he's looking at his face always makes me feel happy.
I will also say on the women's team, they are continuing the Leeds tradition of constantly getting drawn away from home in the FA Cup.
Oh, that's good.
I think they've played all 3 games away so far.
21s, did they beat some Spanish lads? Or
not played since last week, have they?
They beat Bilbao.
Yeah, that was technically last week, though, wasn't it? I think. So,
what about, did Joffrey score for Hull?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I only said that just so you could think about Lynn, really.
No, you don't need to make me think about Lynn.
Right.
Let's just give it to Goodmanson. He was the best player this week.
Hero, though?
Oh, I don't know.
What about the upcoming international break?
It's still weeks away. Christmas? That'd be a nice break.
All right. Instead of that, why don't we predict the future? Because we're playing again this week. So it's the hero of the week. So we're going to play on Friday.
Crescencio Somerville.
Thanks for the PSR.
He was a little bit injured, actually, towards the end of the game.
That's good.
So
and we know he won't try.
He was both limping and sulking by the end of that game. But he was also their best player. So let's say Calvert-Lewin is going to be back with a bang for this game because West Ham don't look like they know how to defend.
Uh-huh.
So I think he'll score. So Calvert-Lewin, fine.
Calvert-Lewin for his goal on
Friday.
Right. And if he doesn't, then we'll take it off him, yeah?
Fine.
Good. Right. I think that wraps it up for today. That was a bit of a struggle, wasn't it? But, it always is in the wake of the defeats.
Particularly defeat. I mean, we've lost other times.
Nobody wants to hear it.
We've lost on other times this season, but Burnley was it's hard to take, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was hard to take it and predictable at the same time, so it's hard to analyse in some way.
And given our general tone on this show, it does make it quite hard to maintain that tone when, again, nobody's in the mood for it, are they?
It's not, because you can't even be properly angry about it. You can just, It falls in a weird. I feel like if this defeat was in March and we were now relegated by it, there'd be a lot more anger. But as it is, all's not lost, is it? But there's a little bit of you goes, oh well, that's the Premier League.
I'll tell you what, I will feel more angry about this game if we do go down.
Yeah, and if we lose on Friday,
yeah,
that's when it really builds.
I think I probably would have felt more annoyed about the Spurs game if I'd known that we'd lose to Burnley after it. Do you know what I mean? And it's the same with, I think you'd feel more annoyed about Burnley if we then end up not beating West Ham.
Yeah,
but
and you do this, don't you? You get towards the end of the season and you see where it's going, and if we were to go down, you go, that one as well.
I think if I were listening to this podcast by this point, I would have sighed a lot because I'd be just thinking about the weekend.
Yeah. So that's what we're doing. Let's transport our minds to Friday and say, enjoy the game, enjoy what's hopefully going to be a good atmosphere under the lights.
I think it should be.
Yeah.
West Ham normally bring decent away support as well. So
yeah, and a win, fingers crossed, erases the bad feeling of this week, doesn't it? Because the nice thing is there's always another game. There is always another game. Right, we will wrap it up there, and let's hope for a slightly cheerier tone next week. We'll speak to you then. We'll see you in a bit.
The Square Ball Podcast.